When someone mentions the city of Belfast to you, you might think of tragedies, of violence. But I think if you come with us to Belfast, you will find the city is much more than that. One thing I was really looking forward to during our visit to Ireland and Northern Ireland was renting a car and driving on the opposite side of the road. I also wanted to drive a car that you could not get in the United States. Well, the rental car company came through with a Volkswagen Caddy diesel minivan. Not exactly what I had in mind, however, it is a vehicle not available in the United States. We then headed out from Dublin in our trusty Volkswagen, headed to Belfast. We did plan for one stop in between Dublin and Belfast. Our little detour between Dublin and Belfast was a stop at the prehistoric Newgrange site. It is an especially large passage tomb built during the Neolithic period around 3200 BC. That date makes this structure older than the pyramids of Egypt or Stonehenge. If you do plan to visit, I strongly advise you to purchase your tickets in advance. On the day we stopped, all the tours were sold out. We did, however, manage to get into the visitor center and have a nice look around the grounds. If you would like more information on this UNESCO World Heritage Site, I will leave a link in the description below. After our quick stop in Newgrange, we then made our way to Belfast. A museum to commemorate a tragedy I mentioned earlier is our first stop in Belfast. This is Titanic Belfast. The museum stands at the site of the former Harland and Wolff shipyards where the Titanic was actually constructed. The museum opened in 2012, almost exactly 100 years after the catastrophe. The centerpiece of the museum is a series of interpretive galleries exploring aspects of the building, design, sinking, and legacy of the Titanic. While photography is allowed in the museum, no video is permitted. This is an actual deck chair from the Titanic recovered from the ocean after the sinking. While there have been several structures over the centuries to hold the name Belfast Castle, the current structure that holds that name was built in the late 1860s. This man, the 3rd Marquess of Donegal, also known as the Earl of Belfast, had the structure built. The facility is now owned by the City of Belfast and is available for tours as well as booking for special occasions. We also took our trusty Volkswagen further north into Northern Ireland to take in a few more sites outside of Belfast. Our first stop was Bushmills Whiskey Distillery. Bushmills markets themselves as the world's oldest licensed distillery, as they were granted a license to distill in 1608. We did take a tour of the distillery, however, no photography or video is allowed on the tour. Tour ends in the tasting room and includes, of course, a free tasting. And while neither of us are whiskey aficionados, we did very much enjoy the tour. Located only about 3 miles from the distillery is the UNESCO World Heritage Site named Giant's Causeway. The causeway is formed by approximately 40,000 interlocking basalt columns that were the result of a volcanic eruption that took place here between 50 and 60 million years ago. The location gets its name from an ancient legend which states that the stones are the remains of a causeway built by a giant. The legend goes on to tell how the giant built the causeway from Ireland clear to Scotland. And as you can guess from the legend, there are identical basalt columns in Scotland. If you do not wish to drive yourself to Giant's Causeway, booking a tour from Belfast is quite easy. And of course, there is a very nice visitor center and gift shop at the top of the cliff at the entrance to the park. If you'd like some more information on Giant's Causeway, I will leave a link in the description below. If your visit to Belfast includes some time on the weekend, be sure and make time to hit St. George's Market. St. George's Market is the last surviving Victorian covered market in Belfast. Our final recommendation for you on your trip to Belfast is to book a black cab taxi tour. We stayed at the Hilton Belfast for our visit and booked the tour through the concierge. And as an American tourist, I greatly appreciate the fact that our tour took place in the appropriate vehicle. Before I proceed any further into this subject, I do need to mention that the history and causes of the times known as the Troubles are beyond the scope of this video or this channel. And for those of you who don't know, the Troubles refers to a 30-year conflict that took place mostly in Northern Ireland between Loyalist and Nationalist forces. Part of the agreement to end the conflict included the building of peace lines or peace walls between nationalist and unionist neighborhoods. Since they were built, both sides now decorate their parts of the wall with various murals. The Troubles more or less ended with the signing of the Good Friday Agreement on April 10, 1998. To this day, the gates or crossing points are closed every night and reopened every morning. When you change from the Republican to the Loyalist side of the wall, the themes of the murals change dramatically. If you'd like to learn more about the Troubles, I will leave a couple of links in the description below. I do want to mention the fact that our guide was absolutely fantastic. He was old enough that he had lived through most of the Troubles during his life and could give first-hand accounts. This part of the wall, it is traditional for visitors to leave a signature. Some of the more famous signatures here are the Dalai Lama and President Bill Clinton. Of course, the area around the wall also includes memorials to those who lost their lives in the conflict. I understand going on a tour with a subject matter like this is outside the norm for most tourists, but I'm sure if you take the time to go on a tour like this, you will leave with a much deeper understanding of the people of Northern Ireland and Belfast, and it's well worth your time. To wrap things up, I do need to mention our associate sponsor, Fairdrop.com. The Fairdrop app sends you great deals on flights from airports you select. We used Fairdrop.com to book our flight for this very trip. Just full disclosure, if you do sign up using our link below, we do get a small commission to help support the channel. I do want to thank you very much for watching today's video. Please like, share, subscribe, all the things, and we'll see you in the next video.